There's obviously problems with the current school system. I'm pretty sure a lot of students around the world experience these. Not enough people are talking about it though, however. So here I am today trying to talk about that. So what is school for? This guy made a whole video about it. Basically, school's supposed to prepare you for the real world. But take a step back and think about it. Does school actually prepare you for the real world? Like, when you were in school, or whether you are in school now, do you think it did prepare you for the real world? Or do you think it's going to prepare you for the real world? Just stop and think about it. Now, what's a school's actual values? In our school, they actually value this thing called respect. They make it a big deal. They try and make it all gimmicky and stuff. They put posters up about respect. They just try and enforce that we need to give each other respect and give teachers respect. But the only problem with that is that you don't deserve respect. Teachers don't deserve respect. Students don't deserve respect. The staff and lunch people, they don't deserve respect. Respect is something that you earn. They do deserve common human decency. Like, you shouldn't be just like taking the mick out of them or being offensive or making it hard for them. Respect is earned, and saying that we should just give each other and give everybody respect is wrong. Because respect is something you have to earn. You have to prove that you can give respect. Like, most of my teachers, most of my peers, they have my respect because they earned it. They showed me that they're willing to go the extra mile, or they're willing to just make a bit of effort to like do better, to make the whole school system easier, just make it better for everybody around them. Like, I'm not saying that they have to, like, I don't know, be extra nice or do anything. They have to do something that shows that they deserve respect, and so do I. I don't expect somebody to just give me respect. I have to earn that respect. I have to build a connection or talk to them or do something that warrants respect. You can't just expect to have respect. That's not how it should be. And then a big problem is the autonomy of school. All it is following instructions. Period 1 starts. 5 periods a day, all doing the same thing. Sit down, open the book, go to page 59, answer questions 3, 4, 5, then write notes about the following. No talking, silence. Do this, do that, then do this, then do that. All you do every day is just follow instructions. That's pretty much school. You just go in and follow the instructions. Good pupils, all they do is just follow what the teacher tells them to do. They're just following instructions. You're not actually doing anything. How's it going to help you in the real world? Stop and think about it. Do you follow instructions in the real world after you leave university, after you leave your college, after you leave your high school, whatever? In the real world, are you going to be following instructions all day, or are you going to have to be creating your own path, doing your own things? You're not going to be following somebody else's instructions. That's like factory work, which there's nothing wrong with it. You got to do what you got to do, but school's pretty much teaching you for that, just preparing you to follow instructions, like basic jobs. Like, not there's anything wrong with basic jobs, okay? There's a job for everybody out there. Maybe a basic job is for you, but teaching every single student to aim for a basic job where you just follow instructions all day, it's not ideal. That's not ideal. That's not how the world should be. The real world will value creativity, people who can go out of their way and find solutions to problems. That's why computer science is such a popular subject. It's like finding problems. Like, okay, there is aspects of following instructions, do what the teacher says, but subjects like art and music, or even computer science, I guess, a lot of the fun and creativity of those subjects is taken out and made autonomous and boring and just robust by school. That's why a lot of people, like, they regret taking all these subjects because they have to go the extra mile doing stuff that they don't want to do, making stuff that they don't like making. And school stunting that creativity, that's one of the biggest problems. And there's no freedom or control within the school. Like, there's following instructions all day. What's the freedom in that? There's no control. A pupil has no control over their life, and that's a dangerous cycle or a dangerous habit to fall into. You get given a timetable, you get told what to do, where to go all the time. For the whole year, it's the same stuff. You just get told what to do and where to go. A student does not create their own sense of direction. A student just follows somebody else's sense of direction. And that's a problem, because in the real world, you're not just going to get given a timetable of your life. You have to prioritize certain things. There's no sense of prioritization within school. Sure, when exams come up and students have to plan their revision around, like, the exams, that's not really ideal, because that's a small portion that the student has to do on their own. And sometimes they are given the tools necessary to do that, but a lot of the times they're just thrown into the deep end because they don't prioritize. Like, at the end of year 11, they've suddenly got these exams to prepare for, but for the past, 12 years of learning that they've been in, the past 12 years of education, what prioritization have they really done? They've just been following what's been set out by them. So after these 12 years, they're just told to, organize this revision and try cram it all in there before these exams, or not cram it in, they're taught to revise it over long periods of time and make their own timetables, make their own revision guides, and make all of their own resources. Why haven't they been doing that for the past 12 years? Why now at the end of the 12 years they're being told to be creative, do what they want, when that should have been taught for the 12 years previous? And it's not like they're going to be revising anything useful. All school is at the end of the day is a memory test. All they're being taught to do is retain and hold information for just prolonged amounts of time. And it's just rubbish. The key fact here is that you learn to retain information and that's it. Full stop. You just memorize these facts and you're a good student. And if you do well in a test, you're a good student. If you do bad in a test, you're a bad student. Think about that, okay? If you can retain information, that makes you a good pupil. If you can't retain information, that makes you a bad pupil. That creates such a dangerous culture around school. Everything's based on exam scores, effort grades, and how well other students perform compared to each other. That's horrible. Think about how many people that affects around the world. How many people think that they're bad or they're bad learners or they're uneducated just because they can't do well in a test. You might not be able to retain information. There's nothing wrong with that. Sure, it's a useful skill to have, but it shouldn't be the primary skill that you need to succeed in life. Because it's not. School kind of masks the idea that memorizing all this information, all these key facts, doing well in school, getting high grades, or doing well in test papers is gonna like save your life somehow. It's not. You've got to find individuality. Be creative in your own ways, because that's gonna get you way further in life. Whether you get like an A star, whether you get C's or D's, whether you fail all your exams, if you can be creative, find your own ways to solve your problems in life, get further, do the things that you want to achieve, then you're easily going to do it. Just because you get all A stars does not mean you're going to do well further down in life. Sure, you might be able to get to a good university and you might carry on with your passions that you find later on in life. Maybe you continue something that you were passionate about in A level and continued that through university, which you got because of your good grades. You had to get those good GCSEs for that opportunity to follow something that you were passionate about. And not everybody's going to do well in exams. Every single student learns in a different way, in a different rate, okay? So if you can't learn all of the information for a topic and it comes to the end of the topic test and you haven't written down all the information compared to another student who's written down all the information in the test, got all the questions right, you've got all the questions wrong, they've got them all right, it's not necessarily your fault. You could have revised better, you could have maybe learned it better, but you learn in a different way to every other student. Teaching all the students the same is kind of wrong, because every single person is an individual. They're not going to learn the same way, they're not going to retain information the same way, and they're not going to learn as fast as each other. So kind of just condensing everybody together in these big schools is wrong. And again, school stunts creativity so much. There's no room for passion or creativity. Somebody who like, I don't know, a scientist, like maybe a future scientist, a student right now, they might love science, they might have a passion for maths and science, but they might not care about English or RS or philosophy or anything like that. So forcing them to take an English exam or having to choose RS, whilst also forcing them to take maths and science, you know, that's kind of wrong, because they're wasting their time learning about stuff, memorizing information about things they don't care about. Like, personally, I like English, but I know a lot of people, they hate English. They think it's boring and pointless. And if they think it's boring and pointless and it's never going to help them in their life, then why are they being forced to learn it now? And some people, they don't even like the stuff that's on offer at school. They're being forced to do maths, science, English, and a slew of other subjects they're not passionate about or care about. And if they're being forced to work at something they're not passionate about, it's not going to be as good. Like, just think about it. If there's something you care about, you're obviously going to do better in something that you care about, because you're going to put the time and put the effort in and produce better results for things that you care about. But forcing students to learn about things that they don't care about, like maybe math, science, or English, whatever that may be, the core subjects, it's just wrong. Now, further down the line, when you take your A-levels or when you go to university, you're allowed to take something specialist, something that you enjoy, something that maybe you want to pursue, a passion that you enjoy. But for normal school, that's just not on. It's just do what they want you to do, learn it, or you're a failure. And teachers kill us so much. Okay, not every teacher's bad, okay? I've had some great teachers, I'm sure you have too. A lot of teachers are great. But some teachers are just arseholes. There's no other way to put it. They're just pricks. Teachers are allowed to lie and manipulate, and like, if the student's, you know, behaving bad, you know, whatever, there's reasons for it, okay? I'm not saying, you know, anything should warrant bad behavior, but, you know, sometimes it's understandable how a student might act or react to certain things. And just the way these situations are handled is just so poor, done around all across the UK, even around the world probably. Each student is an individual. They have their own passions, their own hobbies, their own interests, their own problems. every person has their own individual traits and flaws. So making every single pupil learn the same way, doing the same things day in, day out for these 12 years, there's a problem with that. I don't understand why people aren't talking about it more. Now, I don't want to talk too much about teachers because I want to talk entirely about that for like 10 minutes on its own. But in an essence, school's just monotonous. It's plain, it's robotic, it's robust, it's simple. You do what you're told to do, and that's meant to prepare you in life. And don't even get me started on how nobody teaches. There's no lessons on how to be a good parent, or how to pay your taxes, or how to start up a business, or how to do anything you might want to do or need in the real world. Like, there should be more opportunity for growth and learning, for things that might actually be useful, or things that could prepare a student for the real world. There needs to be room for creativity and development, and there needs to be an atmosphere where every student can feel like they can learn, where nobody's put down because they got a bad test score. And I'm not saying that we need to live in some perfect land where everybody's happy and frolicky, but I'm just saying we need to learn. We need our students to learn in a place, an environment that's friendly and can actually inhibit learn, somewhere that encourages the depth of learning, somewhere that encourages a student to grow and reach their max potential, not somewhere that stunts the growth, stunts the creativity, and makes a student not want to do well in school. And that's the problem with schools these days. So yeah, my name was Diamond Palmer, and thanks for watching.